Welcome to Stephen Johnson Stocks. This is a vest. It's a bit gay, but this episode is probably, in my opinion, the most important episode that I've fucking ever released. It is, for me, the beginning of everything that will define success in the stock market. For me, call me fucking delusional, but I recommend that you watch the video first and then comment delusional or successful at the end. Tell me which you think I am. Quickly, some comments, because obviously there's been a newsworthy fucking event, lost some cash, and there's been some funny comments that I have to respond to. So Jeff Yoko, he says, it's all good, Jeevan, we'll get there next time, bro, you'll bounce back. Jeff Yoko is a fucking solid short seller on weed stocks. Really like the kid. I chat with him quite often. So peace, Jeff. This moment's for you. Happy wolf in the forest, so you're brainwashed by Sykes. Bit of a retarded comment because I was overall profitable in the stock market last year. I made a couple of mistakes and I'll bounce back and make it all back. So how can I be brainwashed by Tim Sykes when he said that people could be profitable in the stock market, and within 14 months, 15 months, I was bringing in kind of like 4 grand in 3 weeks. So obviously it's ups and downs. When you learn, you have red months and green months. You make the money, then you lose it. Takes time to get consistent. Happy wolf in the forest, you're a fucking retard. Team No Cops, did you figure out the different features on your spreadsheet on your own? Yep. And it took a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of work in fucking Googling how to do certain calculations that I didn't understand. John Doe, welcome to Stephen Johnson Stocks. John Doe, welcome to Shut the Fuck Up, you retarded spastic who got bad things done to him by his mom. I could say it so much worse. Peter Brooks, 16-month student, you're still making rookie mistakes. What did Tim Sykes teach you? Obviously, these are all fucking Tim Sykes haters. Dude, within 16 months of learning, as I say, I was profitable overall in the whole of last year, so fuck off. You will eat my shit when I am successful. And Jack Compton, yes, new intro. There will be a new intro. I just need to do it. But guys, honestly, repeat. This is the, in my opinion, best episode to date. Watch it. Have some popcorn. Tell your girlfriend to watch it with you or boyfriend. It's okay if you like the same sex. I haven't tried it. Lady boys could be a good idea because it's in the middle. But let's not talk about it. Oh, see you later. Alright. How's it going? Very extraordinarily happy with trading right now. Despite the fact of losing 17 bucks this week. Flat week. Made 44 bucks on a nice little short. I think it was a gap and crap. And then I lost 193 being early on AQMS on the first red day. You'll see this in the upcoming video. And then I made 166 back short in the second red day, which you'll see in AQMS. It's super valuable lessons. Being more selective with setups. I should have cut AQMS much quicker. That was a horrific loss. Otherwise, it would have been a good 200 plus week, which it should have been. AQMS was, you'll see the preventatives I've taken into account to stop this from happening. So yeah, I mean, winning average much better. I'm much more selective on setups, only trading the setups I want. If the market's quiet, I don't even watch it some of the time, I'll just leave. So winning 75% of the time, but the other good thing is this discipline folder that I've kept now. I mean, my max loss is 200 bucks, but if I go into the yellow by not, say, if I don't trade the patterns that work for me, or if I go over $200 in a loss, then I have to put it in here. And if I break the loss if I break these rules more than 4 times in a month, I have to half me $200 limit, if being the most I can lose, to 100. And if I go into the red, I have to stop trading altogether. So this I will use every month. So the only rules I broke, and if I do break the rules, but it's a profitable trade, I think I have to do this because I know I'm breaking the rules, but it's a very likely situation and it's good intuition on it. Then if I'm right, then I'll not put it in the book. But if I'm wrong, then I have to put it in the book. So these are the exceptions. But yeah, I broke my rules on the 12th and the 13th. I shorted a second spike, which I wasn't meant to, and I took a loss. And on the 13th with AQMS, I took a $230 loss instead of really what should have been a $60 loss. I didn't cut it properly, and I went over my max loss. That was more the problem. So very, very good structure, good things in progress, good plans in progress. And I'm really excited for you guys to see the next section, because it's, in my opinion, the best video lesson I've probably ever done. Okay, so we're kind of a little more kind of full screen here, because I really want to show you the process of how I trade now. I literally only trade 2 setups, both of which that I track. Gap and craps, which I've tracked every single one from February. And first gap down days, which I've tracked every single stock that's gone up and gap down the next day. And then from there I'll say, does it fail? Does it just go straight red and fail? Does it go red to green and then fail? Or does it go red to green and actually run? So I track all the ones that run and all the ones that fail, and I'll get into the results in a bit. But I also just want to say, the way I've started to structure my watch lists, because I'm only trading 2 setups, it's either a gap and crap or it isn't. And if it's not a gap and crap, then it's an overextended gap down if it gets there. So say, for example, these are the stocks that have ran fairly well, 10-15% on day 1. Then the next day I'll look at day 1 stocks, and any ones that are still running I put in day 2, and then day 3 and day 4 and so on. If it gaps down after day 1, day 2, day 3, then it goes into the gap down spreadsheet, and then I start tracking the results. And it's kind of like, did it gap down on after 1 day of spiking? Did it gap down after 2 days of spiking? What percentage of stocks do gap down after 2 days of spiking and 3 days of spiking? And then I also look at it in percentage terms, because you can have the number of days up, but you can also have the percentage up. So the stocks, when they gap down, did they gap down after only having a 50% extension? Well, stocks that were only up 50% from their initial breakout, they went red to green and failed 27% of the time, and 27% ran as well. But if you look at stocks kind of over 50%, stocks that parabolic from the breakout move over 100% before the gap down, then so far none have ended up running. So if a stock's over 50%, and it's very small data, I've only tracked like 16 to 17, and people say you need a sample of at least 100 stocks tracked. I've tracked like 18 before you can have any kind of accurate measure. But it's very interesting, because so far none have gone red, 30% have gone red to green and failed after gapping down, and 60% have just gone, 66% have gone straight red. So this template, as more data builds, is going to be an absolute surety to success, because the last time I tracked stats, I was immediately successful. Immediately. As soon as I tracked the stats, followed what the stats said, I immediately made 5-6 grand in a few months. It was crazy, and then I stopped doing it, and then I lost. So now I'm doing it twice as proficiently, with 2 different patterns, and I think I'll easily make the money back. But the trade I want to talk about is AQMS and how the data relates to the pattern. So AQMS, you immediately look, it goes from the 160s to the 2s, gapping up. So that's 40% on a kind of a $2. That's 40 cents on a $2 move. That's like 20%. So I think, well, is it a gap and crap then? And when you look at kind of gap and craps, the gap and crap rule is it's got to be over 20%. So if it's up 20%, I'm not tracking it. It's not really a gap and crap play. So I'll leave it for that day, but I'll put it on the day 1, and then on day 2, when it runs, if you look, it actually gapped down. It opened at 217 after closing in around the 219. So we can see that if we look, when it made its initial move, it closed, sorry, in the 222s, and then it actually opened around the 216. So it gapped down on this day. And I was thinking, right, it's the first red day. But if we actually look at the results of stocks that gap down after only being up 1 day, 33% of them actually run, and only 16% go red to green and fail, or 16% have a red day. So in 33%, this is a slightly different pattern that actually just gap down and fail. But this is a different kind of pattern which I'm tracking, which I'll not go into today. But if we just look at these 2 data points, it's pretty much 50-50, 33, like say 50% go red and fail, or go red to green and fail, or actually 50% of the other half actually run. So I didn't have the data at this point. I wasn't tracking it and actually shorted the gap down and got squeezed. The lesson learned from the data is it's too tricky to look at gap downs after just one day up if it's not over 50%. So just don't even bother. So this was a mistake and I didn't get out quick enough, and it's my loss, but I'll never do it again because the data's taught me. But then when it ran and finished 2 days up, and then we look at, well, what's the percentage of stocks that have ran 2 days up? Well, actually only 20% run red to green and 40% actually run red to green and then fail. So the most likely situation for this stock, based on the data, is that it's probably going to go red to green and fail. And we saw it gap down. It closed up into the 299s. The gap down qualifies as a second day runner, which is gapping down. It opened at 292, washed out, and then ripped and went red to green. So when it went red to green, straight into resistance here and here. Sorry, that's someone from work. I immediately thought, well, if I risk, kind of when it looked toppy, if I risk from the 313s, short 313 and I look to cover when it breaks high of day, I'm risking 7 cents. 40% of trades fail in these kind of areas. It should fail, and then I was right and I covered on the way down. So the data showed me I had a nice resistance point, I had a nice plan, and the trade worked out and actually continued to crash more to the next day down to the 260s. So you really could have took 40 cents there, and now it's kind of still holding up. I don't track beyond this point because there's so many variables and it takes so much time, and I just want to nail one niche. So just to recap, the stock gapped here, no play because it wasn't a gapping crop. Then it washed red to green. We can take this down, it'll look a bit better since we've got a full screen. It washed red to green here, and that's no surprise because I'm sure more data will confirm this, and I know the sample is small for now, but this is not unexpected, and it's almost a long setup. If I hadn't have played that and I'd only played the actual second day run, shortened into resistance, I would have been up like $200-300. With when I get more comfortable with it, I'll be up a lot more. So this is a really valuable lesson on how data can help you predict trends and give you an edge in the market, because no fucker is willing to put the work in. It takes an hour and a half, pretty much, hour to 2 hours every day to track the data, and no fucker wants to do it. Plus, they don't have any of the education to find out a setup that they really like anyway. So, but for me, like, I'm so fucking obsessed with this shit, and I've just lost $5 and I think, well, and I have the proof and validity that the last time I tracked gap and craps, I found an edge and I killed it in the market. Like I say, $6 in, like I was up $4 in 3 weeks at one point. Only trading gap and craps because the market was hot. There was a lot of them. Now there's not many gap and craps. There's not as many overextended stocks. It's a bit funny, the market right now, but that's also good because I lost money by looking for other setups and other plays because I couldn't find anything good to play my favorite setups. So I just compromised on setups, and you can't do that. So if I only trade 2 setups, the setups aren't there, then I don't trade. Fucking go for some pints, go on a fucking date, have a good time, but don't lose money. And the setups will always come back because the market runs in cycles. Hope you enjoyed it. Live the dream. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I just want to close out by this stunning piece of music. It's by a guy called Kaigo, and he's a DJ, and it got me thinking. But he plays the piano now, and it got me thinking. Every musician, MMA fighter, business owner, trader has gone through an insane journey of learning and mistakes, and with many monumental setbacks. And I often think that the bigger the setback initially, the more success they'll go on to. And people are fucking delusional if you think you can get this shit in 1 or 2 years. It takes a couple of years to start finding some consistent success, and of course there's the anomaly and the outliers. But normal, ordinary people can have extraordinary success, but it takes fucking time and effort. So when I have a loss like this, like I'm fucking grateful for this loss, because for me it shows resilience and character. And when you have a loss like this, What you need to think is, does this destroy me or does this define me? Does this fucking redefine my character, and have I learned from it? Because I can guarantee I have read a lot of books from successful people, audiobooks, articles, fucking interviews, and every one of them says it's how you learn from a loss, how a loss redefines you. Do you have the character to pick up and move forward? And once you have that, then of course, if you learn from it like I have, if you put the processes in place like I have, you will go on to have more success. But you have to have the character to rebuild. And I'm extraordinarily grateful for this resilience that I have. But it's not just about me, it's about we. Where are you going? How did you learn from your last loss? Are you putting in 2 hours, 3 hours a day? And if not, why not? And should you even be doing this at all? Should you be trading at all, or are you wasting your time? Because trading's not for everybody. Once you get over the high of the 8 months, if you're not really in it for the grit, then you may as well just stop. Me, made a lot of money tracking data, stopped tracking, lost money. Now I've learned from that and I'm tracking data more profusely than fucking ever. And the success will come through the hard work. But you've got to have the setbacks, you've got to learn from them. Just a final thing, like, I was offered a trip to California, part of the Steady Trade podcast. I had my leave at work refused. And I thought, no, this is not fair. And some people were like, well, I think you're a bit immature for expecting this. And I said, do you know what it is? You may think I'm immature. I think that I dream big, I reach big, and I will not settle for fucking anyone telling me what to do. And if I have to, I will today, but I will rise fucking bigger and better and in a situation of more power. So I will never compromise again. Never. And you need to empower yourself. I really like my boss, but you can empower yourself to say fuck you to your boss if you don't like him. Just tell him to fuck off. You make the rules. You define your life. But you have to put the work in. You have to put the hours in. I was doing 10 hours a day. And then I was doing 3 hours a day. And I was raking it in. Then I stopped studying and I started losing. Now I'm studying more than fucking ever. I'm redefining it as my life. Because I've realized that only hard work brings success. Live the dream. We will not fail. I will be with you guys for fucking ever. Peace. Comment success or delusional. Fuck yeah.